When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like aloe or Skins, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. With Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts are going abandoned and way more sales happening. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skins uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while giggling about misogynist golden retrievers and making Maxine an honorary HB. Come sit with us, girl.
Stack our shelves with the clinches out. Shout it from the rooftop, can you hear the sound? Yeah. Live your best life, love it out loud. Love it out loud.
Hey, HBs. I don't know if you've noticed, but our social media is coming back to life, like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. And it's all down to one thing. We've got ourselves a social media maven who is posting up a storm and even got us a Blue Sky account. So go follow us, y'all. Our handle is @heavingbosoms.com. I've got some patrons to shout out because our Patreon community is so important to us. So hey, thanks, and welcome to Meredith S., Evan, Megan B., Tori L., Leslie E., and Anastasia. All right, when we left off yesterday, our heroine had sex with a straight man for the first time. Congratulations. And she's still trying to set up her dad with someone worthy of him, quote unquote. Barf. Here we go. So then Jeremy is so excited that his two straights are gonna be together. He's like, I can't believe I didn't set this up myself or whatever. And when Levi gets called out, she asks Jeremy about the wife. And he's like, wow, she was super hot, supermodel, beautiful. And she's like, wow, Jeremy, a little loyalty? Which is a hilarious thing to say because, like, what she looks like has nothing to do with what you look like. You know what I mean? Like, what? You can't change objective truth. I don't know. It's a weird take. Anyway, so she's like, it sounds like that was the love of his life, and I'm just a booty call. And Jeremy's like, well, how long have you been together? And she goes, 8 days.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, okay, slow your roll here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, a day with a straight man is like a year with a gay man. I don't know if you know that, Mel.
Honestly, fair. Yeah.
Then we get to quite possibly the worst thing, maybe, in this book, or the thing that I like. So this is when I at this point I was just kind of
is that when
watching a train wreck. Yeah, at this point we were just, I don't know. I probably skipped some shit, but I don't care. We're an hour 20 in, and
trigger warning for transphobia. Yeah, trigger warning
transphobia. Pretty expansive transphobia,
aggressive,
because it comes up multiple times. Also, this is referenced.
So she's screening her dad's dates. She's going on a date with them before she allows him to go on a date with them. And I don't understand, but I'm going to let it go. I don't have time for that.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that we skipped talking about the vegetable lady at the party at the 65th
Oh my
anniversary.
God, the raw vegan. Yes.
Oh my
and
God.
Mrs. Jones being like, nobody liked seeing you destroy 3 pounds of raw vegetables just now.
Yeah.
Mrs. Jones.
Like, this woman,
oh my God.
seems...
And she even kind of fat shames the raw vegan with like the way there was like there was a very big emphasis. It's not fat shaming, but it is sort of like food and consuming things shaming, because it talks about like in detail like how she's masticating these vegetables and stuff. And it really felt like there was disdain for a woman ingesting any calories at all. I guess maybe in front of people.
So Jane is discussing everything, and she's explaining that she's a rawist. She only eats raw fruits and vegetables, period. She doesn't eat anything cooked or processed. Yeah. And she says, "Thanks, Faith. This'll be perfect." She took an impressive handful of baby carrots and began shoving them into her mouth like popcorn, crunching madly, and another handful, and some celery. Her mouth worked like faster than a wood chipper, Faith thought. And then everyone is going back and forth about like, oh my God, like, and like, what do you mean you don't eat anything? Like, what about bread? And she says, nope, gluten is poisonous for me. She picked up another handful of carrots and started chainsawing through them, little flecks of orange flying from her lips. You should try it. I have literally no mucus issues anymore, and I'm never constipated. Dad had that hide me look on his face, and Ned was choking with laughter. Jane did have very strong-looking teeth, Faith noted. The veggie platter was supposed to serve 20, but at the rate Jane was going, she'd polish that off, then start on the table, which was hopefully gluten-free.
I just like, what?
And then we haven't really talked about Lorena, the fat gold-digging slut.
Yeah. This is when the number comes up, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because Lorena was currently kissing Pops on the cheek, bending over the old man who clearly didn't mind. And the thing was, Lorena's dress, the woman had to weigh somewhere around 200 pounds and was 60 years old if she was a day, but for some reason that went against nature and God's law, had chosen to wear a skin-tight, rubbery black dress. No back, white granny panties, though clearly visible. Faith's breath left her in a rush. I gotta give her points for confidence. Maybe Dad should pay for that boob job. Wow. And then later, after the little impromptu comedy routine, they put on some music, and Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, the other haunting ghost of this book, who comes up constantly. Sexy Back comes on, and Pops, her grandfather, is like, put on some music, now you're talking, said Mr. Holland, and to Levi's horror, and the horror of every living creature he imagined, Lorena began gyrating her flat, aging ass against Faith's grandfather, who put up his fists in classic white guy style and bobbed in time to the Justin Timberlake song, which Levi had always liked. Until now.
So she's too fat at 200 pounds to wear a skin-tight dress, but she's also too flat to be young and
sexually appealing.
Yes. I'm just like, everything about this is so gross.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the sorry if you were.
What? Oh, Yeah. So Jeremy's like, he had a wife, but it's fine. And like, I'm pretty sure that, he was heartbroken, but he's over it and stuff. And so later on, she's like, Levi, what is this? And he's like, well, what do you want it to be? And she's like, a relationship. And he's like, yeah, great. That's what I want too. So that's wonderful. Great.
Mhm.
They've used their words. They're a couple now.
Yeah, now we meet. She's screening her dad's dates, and she's at this restaurant. She meets this woman, Maxine,
Yeah.
and is so fucking into this woman because she's
This is the
perfection.
transphobia
Yeah.
trigger warning. So anyway, yeah, she's screening these dates, and really, she loves everything about Maxine. She's elegant. She's well-spoken. She's well-traveled. I thought it was really weird that she wrote off a girlfriend for her dad because she hated kids. And I'm like, these people are like 60s. What? Why does she need to like kids? She's not going to have any kids with him.
She hates
Maybe it's because,
all
like-
Spawn.
Right? Like, is it because she won't like future grandchildren? Because, like, the other ones are almost in college. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, it's fine. You're not a good woman if you don't like kids, apparently. And so you can't date her dad. And
oh my God, I had it. It's fine.
yeah, right? It's so weird.
I already had enough reasons not to be her biggest fan, and it's fine.
It's exhausting. So, yeah, she loves everything about this woman. They connect so much. They're like, it really is. It's a wonderful date that she
It's
has
the first
with this
person
lady
her
Maxine.
dad is really into.
Yeah, her dad is super into Maxine. And then, but everybody keeps on coming up, like her siblings and her best friend keep on coming up, and like their eyes get big as saucers and they get really awkward and she can't tell why. And the dad keeps saying things like, oh yeah, Maxine is so tall. It's really nice. It's so tall. And then, so she
That's
goes
it,
to the
Dad?
bathroom.
Right, yeah, actually, I don't even want to give the exact
Yeah.
quotes. I don't want to. But at one point,
So she goes to the bathroom and decides to check her phone because Colleen's been texting her. And there's one word in the text. Big trigger warning. It says, she-mail. And so then she goes back and it's like the funhouse mirror has come off of Maxine and she no longer looks like a normal, worthy woman. She can see, like, how big her hands are and like
And
how deep her voice is and like all this bullshit, right? And she even comes at her at this point about the makeup. Before she went to the bathroom, this was
Loved
pointed
her
out to her,
makeup.
loved her makeup. And now she comes back and she's like, oh, wow, that is a lot of makeup now that I think about it. I wonder what she's covering up. I don't want to know.
oh my God, it's
And then
gross.
they had like pointed out to the dad, and everybody just starts laughing hysterically.
They also refer to Maxine after she is gone. After
Yeah.
she is gone, they refer to Maxine almost exclusively as it.
Yeah, so one of her sisters says she's a man, and they do use she pronouns for the most part. When did they say it? I missed that in the audiobook.
She's a man, Dad. No, she's not. Oh, but she is, Honor said, taking a nacho covered in cheese. But no, Honor's right, Jack said. It's a boy. And
oh
then
my God, it's
referred to...
infantilizing and dehumanizing.
Yeah, it's great. Which, like, if your pronouns are it's
Fine.
cool. Great for you. This
But
is
no,
this is
her pronouns are she, her.
definitively a othering in it. It's gross. It's gross.
So
the whole thing is gross.
Later on, the dad is gonna say, like, oh yeah, they'll reference this hilarious date, this outlandish pairing, and he'll be like, oh, who, the transvestite? Like, we can't have nice things. But you know what? Maxine is going to go on and have way more nice things because this family sucks.
Maxine definitely got the better end of this deal by not getting
damn it.
involved with these people.
Yeah. Yeah. This
gross.
made me so mad. Okay, so now, look, Levi's wife comes to town and tries to get him back. And even though she's so hot and like so athletic and she's got so many boobs and she's just so bold.
No. She's not the boobs lady. Faith is
Yeah,
the
she
boobs
is.
lady. Nina's
Oh.
the ass lady.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. Because her last name is, what is her last name? Gonzalez? Gonzalez. I think it's Nina Gonzalez. And so she's the ass lady because they say she looks like J-Lo.
Yeah.
Cannot. And anyway, so Faith actually responds to this very maturely. She just goes and is like, hey, hi, this is a surprise.
Does she?
Well, and Levi's
Mature?
like...
Mature's the word we're using here? When she shows up and extremely passive-aggressively is making all sorts of comment? Yeah.
I mean, I guess what I mean is she didn't fly off the handle like she did when she found out Jeremy was gay.
Yeah, until she, over the course of less than 48 hours, it makes a lot of decisions. She's like, you didn't come talk to me. And he's like, when would I have found time? Not that he's in the right in this situation, but she's like, how could I have possibly told you anything? I don't know, a phone call.
A text?
A
phone
text?
Call? He lives literally across the way right now.
Literally across the hall.
Yeah, of the apartment building. It's not even across a street. Anyway, yeah, so she comes to the table, and at first, she's very cordial, and then he asks her to sit down and stay. And he, like, kisses her cheek or mouth or something, I don't know. And then Nina's like, oh, is that what this is? And, like, starts sizing her up like the raptor she is, you know? And she's like, oh, yeah, this is awkward because I'm here to get my husband back. And then Faith is like, oh, that is awkward, but don't you mean ex-husband? And, like, that's the vibe the whole time. And then she's like, actually, Jeremy and I were here to have dinner, so I'm going to fuck off. And then the next 2 days, Nina is, like, courting him all over town, bringing him Dunkin' and, like, sitting on his desk and stuff, having lunch with him, etc. And he is very like, you left me, period. You left me. It's over. I'm not doing that anymore. But then this is the moment when he again surprises himself because Nina is like, what? She's your... And then he says, mine. And he's like, what? What? Wow. Look at the way I feel. It's just like, it's just revealing itself to me,
I
my
think
feelings.
this man needs an exorcist more than he needs a wife, apparently.
Oh, I've got too many bills.
If you need funds, you can apply in minutes at cashnetusa.com and have the money in your account as soon as the same business day.
Okay, got it. Applying now.
They've been helping hardworking people cover emergency expenses since 2004.
Hey, look, I got it.
You've got this.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See cashnetusa.com for more details.
Always so fresh, delicious, and nutritious, Eggland's Best Eggs fuel the body with 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat compared to ordinary eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
The other day, I saw a meme showing a baby in a womb captioned, "This was the last time I slept well." First, I laughed, but then I got concerned because it was true. I figured bad sleep was my fate until I took a leap of faith and replaced my pillow. Coop's original adjustable pillow seriously solved my sleep issues. Before Coop, I tossed, turned, and woke up with neck pain, feeling exhausted. Now I sleep comfortably and wake up refreshed. Now's the best time to try Coop. Don't miss their Memorial Day sale with up to 40% off site-wide, including best-selling pillows. Plus, every order over $150 gets a free silk pillowcase. Only available until May 27th at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. Don't settle for sleepless nights and groggy mornings. Try Coop risk-free with a 100-night sleep better guarantee at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.
So then he goes over to her house, her apartment, and she's packing. And he's like, what? I came here to, like, Netflix and chill with you or whatever. And, like, what are you doing? You're packing? I came here unannounced, Faith, and you're packing? And she's like, yeah, they got a full-time tenant, and so I'm getting kicked out, essentially. And she's like, anyway, it doesn't matter anyway because, like, I need to go button things up in San Francisco. And he's like, you're moving? And she's like, well, no, technically I'm moving here is what I'm doing. I have to go, like, pack up my house and, like, do one more job in San Francisco. And he's like, you didn't talk to me about any of this. She's like, I don't know when I could have, when, like, you're out with your wife until 1 a.m. And, yeah.
I loved this. Because good for her. She does actually stand up for herself a little
Yeah.
bit.
I was on her side in this one.
Oh, yeah. She says, I have to say, your head does seem to be up your ass with that branch right now. You know what I think? I think this is really about Nina. It's not. Seems like it is. It's not. She threw up her hands again. Great. Another conversation we can't have. You won't talk about the war. You won't talk about your father. You won't talk about your ex-wife. And here's the thing, Levi. I've already been with a guy who hid some very important things from me. I'm not doing it again, so if there's something you'd like to say, by all means, go for it. Well, I'm not gay. Cool. Bud, that is... If
not
you think
the point. Super not the point. Wasn't in question, frankly.
This is Splash Mountain, and somehow this man walked off dry.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's not ponchoed, he's enscanced.
Yeah, you're right. I can't.
Oh, shit. We forgot to tell them the most important thing that happens, like, in the build-up to their, like, being real relationship thing. I'm sorry, listener. This part made me cry, because it was actually kind of beautiful, or whatever. Because they go to dinner with her family and Jeremy, and there's, like, a comment that's made about how the mom is the dad's love of his life, and you only get one of those. And then she gets really weird. So when they're back at the apartment, he's like, hey, you don't seem great. And she's like, no, I'm fine. And he's like, seems like you might want to talk about something. She's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just gonna sleep alone. Goodbye. But then comes and knocks on his door again, and she tells him her big confession, the big secret she's literally told no one in her entire life. And that is that it was her fault that her mom died because she was mad at her mom and didn't want to talk to her. And because she often gets quiet before seizures, the mom was looking back at her to, like, check whether or not she was having a seizure. And that's why they got hit. And then people assumed that she had a seizure. And so her family has thought that she had a seizure the whole time and didn't remember anything.
And she explicitly, when her dad came to see her in the hospital, she's the one who decided to say she had a seizure because it means she wouldn't have remembered anything.
Right.
And she didn't want to tell her father what happened.
Yeah.
That, like, because her mom was basically being like, getting married was the worst thing I've ever done.
Her mom was having a bad day. Okay.
Yeah.
I was listening to this while I was looking out at my kids on the playground after school. And I was like, oh my God, this is one of those moments where, like, as a parent, I feel like self-conscious and worried because something that is completely inconsequential to me is huge and, like, you know, memory making and personality changing to my kids, and I don't even notice, you know?
Yep. You're not going to have
I
any
control their
memory of
world.
it. Mm-hmm.
No,
you're not.
I control their reality. Yeah. And so I say one weird thing and it just sticks in their tiny brains forever. And that's all they remember about me if I die horribly at some point. And that's sort of what happened with her mom in this, because her mom is like, I want you to go travel. Basically what she was saying is, don't get stuck in this small town because you haven't experienced anything else. That's sort of what happened to me. And, you know, she's having a wild hair kind of day. And she should not be talking to her kids about this, but she says, what if it was just, you know, you, me, and, like, Honor or whatever, like the only other kid that's home still. And she realizes that her mom is talking about leaving her dad and getting divorced. And so that's why she doesn't want to talk to her mom, because she's mad at her. She's like, how dare you have a human feeling? You know, I'm 12. I don't understand. And that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's one of those moments where I'm like, she was verbally processing inappropriately, for sure.
As a verbal processor,
yes.
I was like, I didn't fall. Like, I was definitely reading this scene going, this is not the most appropriate venue for this. Like, this is not the audience for it. But also, like, we've all been there.
Yes. Yeah. And it is, I mean, it's personality shaping for Faith, because Levi, once he figures this out, once he finds out she thinks her mom's death is her fault, he's like, oh, that's why she was always getting, like, baskets for the poor and, like, trying to make up for blah, blah, blah. She's like been trying to atone for this huge error and crime that she committed against humanity by killing her mom. And so then
and
this is
you're
wild.
right. This was swoony.
It was swoony, but it was also completely unbelievable. Okay. It's like 11 p.m., everybody. Okay. And allegedly, Levi leaves, goes to the sheriff's office, then has to go to like an outbuilding somewhere else where like all the old records are kept. Then he gets all of her mom's old records. And then he does an entire accident reconstruction.
Cold case investigation.
In like an hour and a half. Like goes out to the road, pitch darkness, does a whole accident reconstruction with computer programs and everything, and then comes back to her house at like 3 a.m. or something. And this is the swooniest thing, but like that would take 3 days. I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. So he goes back and he's like, hey, it couldn't have been your fault. And like what people told her to comfort her was your mom never saw it coming. And so they're telling her like she didn't know she was in pain, like she didn't feel anything, she wasn't scared. But what she hears is, my mom couldn't save us because she was looking at me because I was being an asshole. I was being an immature asshole.
Yeah.
So anyway, he does this reconstruction and he explains to her that there were tire treads, there were screech marks basically on her mom's side. And so he's like, she did see, she did try to stop, and it was too late because of the speeds at which the vehicles were traveling. And so he gives her this, I mean, huge, life-changing gift, the knowledge, the proof that she did not kill her mom and it was just a freak accident. And like, she isn't responsible for this. And she can tell her family she isn't responsible for this. And they can realize that they've been quietly making her feel like she's the guiltiest convict who's ever been on the planet.
Yeah.
And we
have a whole scene where she goes and she does tell them all of this and she shares this information and they're all horrified that she's felt this way all of these years.
Yeah.
Because like, so for example, like probably the biggest thing is that she thought Honor hated her for killing their mom. And it's not that. Honor was just really jealous that
she got more time with her. She was there in like the pivotal moment.
I will say though, listener, if you big trigger warning, it's like a 4-page description of the accident
in real time.
Depth. It is.
Yeah, it's like
it's
first
rough.
person present tense kind of a situation.
And it's
harrowing. Like she sees her mom's ghost wave at her and then looks over and sees like the bloody hair of her mom. Like I was crying a lot. It was a lot. But anyway, they also figure out that like her dad was happy that she had a seizure because he didn't want, I'm going to cry right now, because he didn't want her to have to carry that memory for her whole life. And so now realizing that like, I mean, these are my terms, not his, but like realizing there was therapy she needed to have that was withheld from her because nobody knew.
I mean, to be fair,
she probably should have used the therapy either way.
Probably could have used therapy anyway. Frankly, there's not a I am very openly somebody who believes that all people should be in therapy.
Same.
The same way that you get like an annual physical. I think that like an annual mental would also be very good. It's beyond that.
It's way beyond that.
Every single person in this book needs therapy.
And the grandparents, I didn't understand the need for that dynamic because it doesn't explain anything about the dad. It's almost like her dad is devoted and loving and whatever in spite of his parents' relationship.
That's exactly it.
And is that the point?
That's the point.
Is that the point?
Well, also, like, in what world? So much of this book is so focused on other people's dysfunctional relationships, and my God, she's gonna be the one. Like it gives her this.
She's gonna be the breaker of cycles.
She's gonna be the breaker of cycles because she has her spinster sister Honor. She has her sister
Book
Prue,
2.
who's in just the most bananas situation right now. And like, I was surprised, frankly, at how unkink shamey, in the sense that everybody else is like, the joke is that her sister Prue, because there's this whole through line of the entire book, is her husband
wants to spice things up. And so she's talking about all the bananas shit that he wants to get up to in bed and all of these things. And at one point, like, and she's complaining about it constantly. She's like, I feel like she's getting bikini waxes. She's getting like all of these things. She's wearing Vulcan ears and like spanking her, like all of these things. But like, she's still kind of do it. At one point, it is said on page at the very end, she's sexting with her husband, playing like 50 Shades of Grey over the phone. And she's like, I don't even understand why I'm doing this and being this like virginal, college age lady and blah, blah, blah. Spit out two of his kids. and both of his kids.
And Levi's like, probably because you like it. And she's like, yeah, probably. As she's furiously typing back. Yeah. And like, I kind of loved it. There was definitely kink shaming. Don't get me wrong, but like he
is treated like an aberration.
Oh yeah,
to the point that he's not on page until the very, very end. He gets kicked out of his home.
Yes, he's living with his mom, and like also, does nobody in this family have a single boundary?
I mean, fair. Yeah.
Not a single person in this family has a single boundary. Also, not a single one of these people knows how to be cordial to somebody they don't like.
Okay.
It's all in or all out. Like, I would ask who raised you, but I've seen all of them. And I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. Y'all, just these people. Or you know what? Maybe Ned.
Ned's fine.
Ned might be fine.
Yeah, Ned's fine. Abby's fucked.
Oh my God.
Abby has to change before the anniversary party because Prue tells her to wear something less whorish. She says that to her 16-year-old daughter. Oh my God.
As somebody who had an experience like that, I'm going to tell you that it sticks with you.
Yeah.
An adult like that saying you look like a slut in what you're wearing.
God.
It's going to stick with you. That's a great example of like a moment that is going to stick in your head for the rest of your life. And they probably don't even.
Yeah.
No idea that happened.
Oh, so the second book is Honor. And then the fifth book is Jessica Does. Turns out her last name is Jessica Dunn. And Colleen's brother, Connor. Yeah. I might want to read Jessica's book just because she's such a bitch and I loved it.
You know what? I do actually really love Jessica as a character because she's just unapologetically hateful.
Yeah. And frankly, she has reasons.
Yeah. And like, I don't like, so I've said, we've both said there's nobody redeemable in this book. There are some characters, but like even the people that I disliked less, I still disliked though. Cause like,
yeah.
And I know that part of it is like, I'm not going to expect an amazing character who says all of the right things in a book like this, right? Sure. Because like nobody says all of the right things in this book because it's not possible when you're working within this framework. But I just...
Yes. Well, and we don't have to agree with a character or like their actions to understand or like the character. You know what I mean? I don't want a perfect character. That's not the point here.
Nothing brings us together like Eggland's best eggs. Always so fresh and delicious, plus superior nutrition like 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat compared to ordinary eggs. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
The other day, I saw a meme showing a baby in a womb captioned, "This was the last time I slept well." First, I laughed, but then I got concerned because it was true. I figured bad sleep was my fate until I took a leap of faith and replaced my pillow. Coop's original adjustable pillow seriously solved my sleep issues. Before Coop, I tossed, turned, and woke up with neck pain, feeling exhausted. Now I sleep comfortably and wake up refreshed. Now's the best time to try Coop. Don't miss their Memorial Day sale with up to 40% off site-wide, including best-selling pillows. Plus, every order over $150 gets a free silk pillowcase. Only available until May 27th at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. Don't settle for sleepless nights and groggy mornings. Try Coop risk-free with a 100-night sleep better guarantee at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.
Anyway, so what else happens? Look, so they have this giant fight about her not telling him that she has to move when she got kicked out yesterday and he wasn't around. And then he's like, well, this wasn't working anyway. And she's like, Levi, what are you talking about? Don't make this a bigger thing. And he's like, no, really, it wasn't working. And like, bleh. So he breaks up with her and she goes back to San Francisco, and it doesn't matter because we turn the page. It's 3 weeks later. He's moping. Yeah.
You know what? She said, walking over to him, her eyes narrowed. She poked him in the chest with her forefinger. Hard. I'm the one who said I love you. The fact you didn't say boo was duly noted, Chief Cooper.
Yeah.
You can't even admit you gave me that damn rock, and I've been carrying that thing around from place to place for decades. Another poke. Say what you want about Jeremy, poke. But gay or not, at least he knew how to be in a relationship. At least he was willing to commit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this isn't a book about you two.
Apparently, so there might be hope for Jessica's book because it was published in 2015. I don't know if you become less transphobic in that many years, but we all are, on our own journeys. So who knows?
I mean,
still not
the
going to buy it.
transphobia was egregious in this novel, but that is far from the only issue.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
No, it seems like a worldview kind of situation that I'm not going to be cool with.
Yeah, and like I have this thing of where people are capable of change, and I fully believe that, and I am willing to give somebody who has done the work the opportunity to prove that they have changed, okay? There's too many other books in the world.
Yeah.
There's too many other books in the world. I need you to not make
queerness a punchline. And then
or like
I might engage with it.
How is it that you're straight and the most important part of your personality revolves around other people being gay?
Yeah.
And it's also
anyway. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Well, so we turn the page. It's 3 weeks later. He decides that he's going to go to San Francisco and like make up with her. But it doesn't matter at all because we turn the page again. She's already back in New York.
Oh, no, wait. I loved this. He flew out to San Francisco. Honor knew she was on her way back and he, like, didn't call to be like, hey, bud.
Yeah.
She, like, that did make me laugh a little bit because I was like,
okay,
frankly, you deserved that 19-hour round trip, bud. Like,
yeah, I guess it felt like a weird thing to throw away, Like maybe there's a cut scene where we see Levi in San Francisco finding out that like all of this was a waste of time and money. And I'm not saying I needed it, but it felt like a weird throwaway punishment.
That is one thing, is I do think that there's a lot of times in this book where I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're missing a scene. Like, I think that there's a lot of, which, to be frank, I'm glad that they're missing. The book is already 30% too long. But, because this is like a 450-page book. It's
bananas.
Very
They
long.
spend so much time hating each other and so little time building a relationship.
Do you know what would have probably cut about 250 pages off?
Less Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
Also, the quirky, unfunny things that everybody else does. Also, just all of the misogynistic woman hating in general.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, when you bring the golden retriever into it, you've gone too far. Into
the misogyny. I thought you meant the book in general, and I was like, wow, Melody's coming out on this episode as anti-dog and book? That's a weird hill to die on.
Indeed.
Oh my God. I heard I don't know. I was made aware of a statement recently that just I love it so much because it was something along the lines of, this is not a hill I'll die on, but it is a hill I'll kill you on. And I was,
you know what? Yeah.
I felt very seen by that statement because I have very few hills that I will die on.
Yeah. But
boy,
I'll battle on it.
I'll
shield Maiden out.
Absolutely pull a full just siege on that hill.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we don't see him go to California. We also don't see him come back. And it's like an ice wine harvest. It's the middle of the night. They're all going to go harvest grapes that are frozen. And he shows up.
After a good hour, they heard another motor. Ahoy, Hollins, came Jeremy's voice. It was another tradition started when the Lyons had first moved to New York. The two families took turns bringing coffee to the other. Attached to Jeremy's tractor was a small trailer, and leave it to the gay guy. He had a bright red plaid blanket, a huge thermos, thick ceramic mugs, matching sugar and creamer set, 2 trays of sugar cookies, and a flask of good brandy to lace the coffee.
Well, because he's gay, and so he's familiar with feminine arts, Sabrina.
Oh, don't worry. It turns out
and
Levi does a lot of stress baking in the middle of the night, but don't worry, it's very manly.
It's super manly, everybody. Anyway, so Jeremy says he looks at her and he says, that's the one thing I regret about our breakup is that we would have made beautiful babies. And then from behind them, they hear Levi growl, the only person she's going to be making babies with is me. And then he goes over and he does a really terrible grovel. And they heckle him the whole time, which is great, honestly. They were very useful in this scene.
He literally pulls an engagement ring out of his pocket and puts it in her hand. And she doesn't even realize it's an engagement ring because her father from behind is like, that's my princess. You're not none of that cohabitation before marriage. Blah,
you better
blah,
buy
blah,
that cow.
You better
that's what he says.
That's
what he says.
Exactly what he says. Oh, he says that word for word?
No.
Oh.
No, he says you better have a ring and a date.
Yeah, and
But what he says is you better buy that cow.
Yeah, and Levi is like, wow, I fully thought that you know what? The fact that I believed you and that I had just glossed over it says a
testament.
lot. But Levi's like, already got that handled. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, open your hand. And she does, and there's an engagement ring in her hand. And
And then he says, will you marry me? No, I'm sorry. Wait. This is the best. He does not propose to her. All he does is open her hand. And then she says, I'm going to have to think about it really quietly. And then he says to her family very loudly, she said yes. And everybody cheers. Hilarious. Yeah, that's the end of the book. So
yeah, no, don't worry. The mysterious narrator lady comes back for a 3-paragraph rundown of
Southern Charm Fairy Godmother.
By the way, the opening with the Fairy Grandmother was like no less than 8 pages. This was a cool 8-line.
She does, and they all lived happily ever after, bippity boppity boop, and then there's like a wand sound, and then the book ends. Little tinkly wand sound, like that, and then the book's done, and you close it, and then you never look at it again.
They deserve each other.
Yeah, I mean,
it fits.
Jeremy brings a date to their wedding. Okay,
yes.
So he's even mentioned at their wedding. Fantastic.
I literally cannot think of an important scene between them, where there's not a comment or a reference about Jeremy because and it doesn't have to be him by name, right? But like a comment or reference. And every single thing. He was literally making out with her against a wall. And then he's like, makes some comment in his head about how well, I don't have to be thinking about Justin Timberlake. And I was like, bro.
Yeah. You're thinking about him right now, dude, you fucking homophobe.
Oh my God.
You,
And is it
you homonotphobe? Like, I don't know what he is.
He's the least. He's
They're like
somebody,
culturally homophobic. I feel like
he personally is not. I would argue that he's there's he's in a
there's
gray
a certain
area,
amount of
is what he
homophobia
is.
in defining somebody exclusively by their sexuality.
Well, this goes along with like one of my and I think this could probably be tied to my issue with the gay best friend thing is like when I meet people and I find out the only thing that they know about me is that I'm queer, like they know who I am in general, but all they know is that I'm a queer person. It really just gets my goat. I'm like, if that's the most interesting thing about me, you're not my friend.
Sure. Yeah. You don't see me as a human necessarily, like a fully fledged human.
Well, yeah, especially because that is such, and this goes along with Jeremy. It's not like I have a wife. You know, like it's not like there's something actively in my life that it should even matter to that person necessarily, unless that is another queer person, right? And you're like, oh yeah, I do have a friend who, because like that's different. That's a variation. Although I also anyway, that's more nuanced. But like I have less of an issue in that situation. But like, unless it's somebody that you think I want to bone down with, why does it matter if I'm queer?
Yeah.
Like, or you think they might want to bone down with me? Like, why does, like I said, y'all, just the royal y'all.
Yes, I like that.
Y'all think about gay sex so much more than any of us do. It's bananas.
Always so fresh, delicious, and nutritious, Eggland's Best Eggs fuel the body with 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat compared to ordinary eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
The other day, I saw a meme showing a baby in a womb captioned, "This was the last time I slept well." First, I laughed, but then I got concerned because it was true. I figured bad sleep was my fate until I took a leap of faith and replaced my pillow. Coop's original adjustable pillow seriously solved my sleep issues. Before Coop, I tossed, turned, and woke up with neck pain, feeling exhausted. Now I sleep comfortably and wake up refreshed. Now's the best time to try Coop. Don't miss their Memorial Day sale with up to 40% off site-wide, including best-selling pillows. Plus, every order over $150 gets a free silk pillowcase. Only available until May 27th at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. Don't settle for sleepless nights and groggy mornings. Try Coop risk-free with a 100-night sleep better guarantee at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.
All right, Sabrina, what's your lady love? I have 2. Do you want me to give mine?
We're gonna see. Yeah, go for it.
All right, I have a layered lady love. Okay.
Oh, like a cake.
Yeah. Like a cake.
Onion.
Oh, yes. So last night, Michael reached out. He was at work, and he said that one of my friends from like Blast from the Past had sent a package to our old address. And he was wondering if he should pick it up for me. And I was like, yes, oh my God, that's so exciting. I was just thinking about her last week, and I can't believe that she sent something that's so sweet. And like in the past, she's sent like hand knitted or crocheted hats for the babies and like, you know, when they were really small and stuff. She's the sweetest. And she is a friend from high school, actually. So I was so excited about this. And then so on the one hand, I opened it this morning and she just out of the blue sent this beautiful care package that has like a book I can read with the kids about radical American history and like a bunch of self-care stuff. And her whole note was like, hey, I really hope you're doing well. Here are some new things with me. Here are some things that have stayed the same in the last time, like since we've talked. And I am trying to channel my energy into like lifting up others in this dark time. And so I hope you love all the things that are in this package. And I was just like, oh my God, Tiffany, stop being the best unicorn that's ever hit the world. And she always has been. She's wonderful.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, she's so sweet. And in that package, one of the things was this like really fancy looking lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
Except when you open it, it's lip balm.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know why I love that so much, but
that's
like,
very cute.
I love looking so fancy. Like I'm putting on something so fancy, but it's just nourishing instead.
I
nice.
love that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's like one part of the lady love. But then the next part of the lady love is that while we were recording, I got a couple of pictures from Michael and I couldn't open them like until after, right? I wasn't going to open them. When I did open them, he took them at the old house when he picked up the package, and it was like 2 different shots of our front yard, which is where I gardened the most when we lived there. And so he's like, they kept it mostly the same, but I thought you might want to see the plants now. And so I saw like the hydrangeas that we planted before Ember was born. I got an update on my plant babies.
Oh my God.
The evergreen is huge, I tell you. Okay.
That is a man who knows what his woman likes.
Truly. The hydrangeas are like, fuck off hydrangeas now. Like, shit, they're so big and beautiful. Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
it's
that.
the sweetest. That's my double lady love. It was the best.
I love that so much.
Me too.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, it was a wonderful surprise.
My lady love is my local library.
Ooh.
Boy, I love my local library. So, like, a lot of people, when they think about, like, certain things, so that's one of the things that I could, go on a rant about is, like, the services available or unavailable in a remote rural area. Okay? Like, and I'm not even that remote, but, like, in a rural area, right? And boy, have my friends been hearing about those lack of services lately. But boy, the stuff that a lot of people, like, we don't have a Kinko's, we don't have a Staples, we don't have all sorts of things.
FedEx.
But like, boy, the local library, they have so many services and they're all so nice. And I go in and spend $25 to get them to print my 110-page mortgage. And
on legal paper.
On legal paper. And I don't have to go buy the paper for the printer. I don't have to have the space
have to get
for the
500
printer.
sheets of.
I don't have to keep up with the ink. It was so cute because there's a cost difference between color pages and black and white pages. And she was so nice because I was like, I'm not sure if there's any color on these pages. So just go ahead and hit, and I'm not going through it to find out. So just go ahead and hit color and that's fine. And she's like, oh, well, when we look at it, if it's mostly black and white, I'll go ahead and just charge you black and white. And I was like, girl, don't even worry about it. Even if it is all black and white, charge me color. Like,
that's so sweet.
It was just,
you're saving my life right now.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, let's be real. Yes, it would cost $30 to print it, but also it would cost me a lot more than that to keep up a printer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, and that's just such a small little thing because I ran into that thing a couple of years ago, like especially right after the pandemic, where we didn't leave houses, quarantine, all of that stuff. Not that the pandemic is over, but like after quarantine of pandemic times, it like there were times and specifically I no longer worked someplace where I could just print something off there, you know what I mean? Or, it's a weekend or whatever. And I was like, man, how do I do this? I literally don't know. I have no idea.
Right.
And then I was like, I wonder if the library would know. I've just been making a lot of use of my library lately. And I take out books on Libby and things like that. But
but like the physical space.
If you're wondering where to go to do something, call the library. They're either going to be able to do it there and you can, and you'll pay for it, but like,
sure,
it's going to be not terrible. And even if it is a little pricey, then guess what? It goes to the library.
Yeah.
And if they can't do it,
they're going to find out.
They're going to know.
They're going to find out where you can do it.
It's just, I just love them. They're wonderful.
Yeah, that's really great.
We also shot. That is one thing. Like we have a great library here where I live, which is just a little unexpected for middle of nowhere. It's not middle of nowhere, but rural Arkansas.
Yeah, and for lack of a better term, like what a blessing, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Well, especially because, wow, this isn't a wealthy area. You know what I mean? Like, so many things. Also, oh God, I could just wax poetic about my local library.
I love it. I'm gonna miss it.
That's one of the things I'm gonna miss a lot.
Oh, you'll just have to find a new one. It'll be great.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep being a badass and love yourself as much as you love an equal opportunity leg humper.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't even know what to say from this book. And mine was going to be love yourself as much as you love using a pillow to distract your dog from humping your man. Because you want to hump your man.
Yeah, there's only so much room, Blue, okay? There's only so much attention that can be paid.
I want to hump that. That was probably my favorite through line of the entire book was Blue.
Blue humping his leg all the time.
Blue, oh my God.
Got
this is
after
just
it.
the tiniest tangential update.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember Melody. And I can't remember if I've talked about it on public episode or if it was Patreon episode, but just the quickest catch up for everybody is that in the move, Gumbo has a bed. My dog Gumbo has a bed.
That's right.
That is.
It's his lover.
It's his
special friend.
It's his Levi's leg. It is. And it's disgusting.
It's his emotional support hump pillow.
Oh my God. And I've just stopped washing it because, like, after I wash it, he's just so aggressive until it's disgusting
again. Put his scent back
and then
on
he chills out. And so, like, I've just let it be a disgusting lover, you know?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I had decided in this move
that she wasn't going to take it.
I was just
she was going to deprive. His lover was going to disappear.
I was going to fully do the thing you do. Like, maybe he won't note it. Like, there's so much upheaval anyway.
Sure. Yeah,
and
she thought to herself.
And then I can't do it.
You can't.
I can't.
He needs something stable.
I can't do it. That disgusting pillow is going to go into a garbage bag, and then I'm going to put it in the frickin' vacuum seal bag with the rest of the dog beds.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go all the way down to all the way to Lafayette. And
the great thing, though, is, Sabrina, you don't even have to touch it when you unpack it. You can just pour it out onto the floor where you want it from the bag.
Did I tell you Gumbo's most egregious crime lately?
No.
That means I haven't told any of you. So,
no.
Gumbo's lover.
Yes.
It's disgusting. I fully do not touch it with my bare hands.
No.
That is a shoes on adjustment, or
it's a biohazard.
I have gloves in my house. Yeah. And the other day, I was just living my life doing my Sabrina things. I was probably working because that's all I do right now in preparation for this move.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked in my bedroom and the lover was on the bed.
No.
And when I tell you, I had a visceral physical reaction because, like, I walked in that door and I saw the lover on the bed and I was just
That's
like,
a personal attack.
Gross. I fuck things there, not you. How dare you?
There are some boundaries, Gumbo, okay?
There are very, very few boundaries that I have with my dogs, and that is one of them. Actually, that's not true. I have a ton of boundaries. Like, at one point in this book, she ate ice cream and then fed her dog ice cream off her spoon and then ate ice cream off it again. And I was like, I would...
At one point, the dad puts the slimy ball into his own mouth.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, I gagged several times. Like, that is... Oh, but a dog's mouth is cleaner than our... Yeah, they also eat shit. So, not interested.
I don't want to put my mouth on your mouth either. You know, like, I don't want you to slobber all over a ball and then hand it to me wet and dripping to put in my mouth. I don't want to do that with you either.
Frankly, I have sensory issues, so I don't want to touch your wet drippy ball with my hands, let alone my tongue. Gumbo. And he's looking so fucking cute and sweet. I would take a picture so that we could post it, but I can't because if I stand up, he's gonna like unsweet himself.
Yeah.
But like, oh God, on the bed, dude, the futon's getting thrown out on my way down. Like, can't we have done it on there? Like, or like one of the, we napped there on top of that comforter. I did.
All right.
I did go wash that comforter. Anyway.
Yes.
So
good.
That's it. Love yourself as much as you love, God, as much as Blue loves Levi's leg and Gumbo loves his lover.
Yeah. It's so much. Like, that's a vast love.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh my God. Thank you for sticking with us on this ride. Next week, we're going to be back with Eternal Craving by Nina Bangs. It's dinosaur shifters, y'all, and it's everything we deserve. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you next week.
Always so fresh, delicious, and nutritious, Eggland's Best Eggs fuel the body with 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat compared to ordinary eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
The other day, I saw a meme showing a baby in a womb captioned, "This was the last time I slept well." First, I laughed, but then I got concerned because it was true. I figured bad sleep was my fate until I took a leap of faith and replaced my pillow. Coop's original adjustable pillow seriously solved my sleep issues. Before Coop, I tossed, turned, and woke up with neck pain, feeling exhausted. Now I sleep comfortably and wake up refreshed. Now's the best time to try Coop. Don't miss their Memorial Day sale with up to 40% off site-wide, including best-selling pillows. Plus, every order over $150 gets a free silk pillowcase. Only available until May 27th at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. Don't settle for sleepless nights and groggy mornings. Try Coop risk-free with a 100-night sleep better guarantee at coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.